All right, so here we go. This is lesson 11. This is solution sets for equations and inequalities. So now that we've gotten to where we have a pretty good grasp on simplifying, so that's going to be your distributive property, your associative and commutative, multiplying and adding like terms, all that kind of stuff, we can start to use all those skills to start working towards solving equations and inequalities, which is where we're going to be heading. So let's take a look at this first one here. It says, consider the equation x squared equals 3x plus 4. So the first question it says is, are the expressions logically equivalent? And what that means is this side the same as this side? Well, in this case, the answer is no, because you can't combine 3x plus 4 to begin with because they're not like terms. But even if you could, it's definitely not going to look like x squared. So these two are not logically equivalent. No. Another way to think about logically equivalent would be if you chose a value for x, that every single value you chose for x, if I substituted on the left side and I substituted on the right side, these would be exactly the same. So like take 3, for example. If I plug 3 in for x squared, I get 9. If I plug 3 in on this side, I get 9 plus 4, which is 13. 9 is not the same as 13. So that's why these are not logically equivalent. So we could expand on this by saying no. There are values of x that would not make the equation balance. All right, so let's move on here. So since they're not logically equivalent, I chose 3 as an example, and that didn't work. But I guess my question is there a value that does work? So we might do something like this. We might choose a bunch of different values for x and plug it into both sides and see if we get something that's true. True meaning that the left-hand side is the same as the right-hand side. And I want you to notice that like for almost every single one of these, it turned out to be false, but there was one value that turned out to be true. And this is basically what we're doing when we're solving equations. I want you to think of this like here are all the different values that we're trying, and they got to get through this gate. And in order to get through this gate, I should be able to plug it into both sides of the equation and get a resulting math sentence that's true. Well, if it doesn't work, then it goes into the reject pile. And if it does work, then it goes through the gate and it becomes part of the solution set. So in this case, the solution set is just 4 because this seems to be the only value that makes this true. So here's the punchline, and this is super, super, super important. We're going to be talking about this for the rest of the year. It's critical that you learn the following sentence. A solution is the value of the variables that make an equation or inequality true. Okay? The value of the variables that makes an equation or inequality true. In some cases, there might be more than one value per variable, and in some cases, there might be more than one variable. But that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the values that make the equation true, because those are the ones that get through the gate. Okay, so once we know those values, then what we have to do is we have to display them. And we have to display them in up to 3 ways. So in words, in set notation, or on a number line. So if we're talking about the last one, the solution ended up being 4. So if we were to say in words, we would say the value of x is 4. If we were to put that in set notation, this is what set notation is. We're going to say x equals. Set notation is where we do these fancy brackets that look like that. And then you just put your values in there. And we're going to talk about some different ways to do that, but that's basically what that looks like. And then if we were to do this on a number line, what we would do is we would draw our number line. And then we're going to put arrows on it because it's a number line. We're going to put some marks on it, all evenly spaced out, just like a graph. We want to mark 4, so we'll put that in the middle. And then we'll mark the other ones. And we're going to put a dot at 4 because that's our solution. And we're going to talk about those a little bit more in just a second also. Okay, so 3 different ways that you have to be able to display your solution. So let's look at some examples of this. So if we say that x squared equals 25, what are the values that make that true? Well, most of you are going to go, oh, 5, because 5 squared is 25. But some of you are going to forget that -5 also makes this work, because -5 squared also equals 25. Remember, squared means times itself. So I need to be able to display this in words. So I would say the values of x are 5 and -5. In set notation, I would say x equals -5 and 5. So you basically list the numbers inside there. So there's set notation. And now if I want to label this as a graph, I need -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want a dot at -5 and a dot at +5. So that's kind of what that looks like. Here's another one. X plus 5 equals 10. Well, what are some numbers that make this true? If I put 4 in there, 4 plus 5 is 9. That doesn't work. If I put 5 in there, 5 plus 5 equals 10. Does that work? No, because this says greater than, and 10 is not greater than 10. So I guess it starts with things that are bigger than 5. But we need to include 5.1 and 5.2. It doesn't just start at 6. So the numbers that we're looking here are anything that's bigger than 5. So the solution set, so this case we're going to change it to the solution set, is all numbers greater than 5. Now, for an inequality, this is an inequality because it has an inequality sign. For an inequality, our set notation changes a little bit. It looks like this. Here's how you write it. X equals, it starts the same exact way, but for an inequality, we're going to do it this way. We're going to write for X is all X's, like that. So it's X with a bar, and then just put your inequality in there. So it looks like that. This says all X's such that X is greater than 5. That's basically what that says. So if it's distinct numbers, meaning just like a couple of numbers, then you're just going to list it with a comma. And if it's an inequality, you're going to write it this way. Now, how do we do our graph for this? Well, I know I want 5 in the middle. I'm going to spread this graph out a little bit. And then I want all the numbers bigger than 5, but I don't want to include 5. I do not want to include 5 because remember, 5 doesn't make this true. So the way I do that is I'm going to put an open circle at 5. And then in this case, I want all the numbers bigger than it, like this. So what this does here is this said, hey, any number out here, so 6, 7, 7.2, 14,000, all those are solutions. Anything all the way to 5, but since it's an open circle, we don't actually include 5. We say not inclusive. Not inclusive. So I'm just going to write that down really quick. So this open circle here, that means not inclusive. And we use that open circle whenever we have greater than or less than. All right, last one. x minus 7 is less than or equal to 20. Okay, remember our inequality signs. This number means equal to. So this says x minus 7 is less than or equal to 20. So what are some numbers that work here? Well, if I put 10 in there, that works. If I put 20 in there, that works. If I put 30 in there, that doesn't work. 30 minus 7 is 23, and 23 is not less than or equal to 20. So what about 29? No. What about 28? No. What about 27? 27 minus 7 is 20. 20 is less than or equal to 20. So I want any number that is less than or equal to 27. Okay, so how do I write that out? The solution set is all values less than or equal to 27. How do I write that as a set? Just like I showed you, x equals the set of all x's such that x is less than or equal to 27. So that's going to be 27, 26, 25, so on and so forth. How do I do that as a graph? First, I'm going to label. And then, since this time I want all the numbers up to 27 and including 27, I'm going to use a closed dot instead of an open dot. And I want all the values that are less than 27. So that's like 26, 25, 24. Whoops, I messed up my graph here, huh? That should be a 25. Okay, so this right here, instead of not inclusive, this is inclusive. It means include that number. And we use that anytime we have less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. That's when we use a closed dot. So you'll have time to practice this, of course, and this will sort of set the stage for us to actually start solving equations and inequalities.